Howdy folks, Jim coming at you again on this cloudy fall day here in late October. Very overcast. Looks like a storm is coming. I took me some notes today because I want to go over some things. You know, when you get old, you got to put your reading specs on. A storm is coming. You know, I've been tooting this horn for a long time. Not only to warn people, but in the storm, there's also great opportunity if people will pay attention. You know, like the ant and the grasshopper, we did a video there the other day. I want to go over some things here real quick, maybe a few notes. Won't keep you long. And I want to show you another video. But as you guys know, we got a huge election coming up here in a couple of weeks. The governor race here in the great Old Dominion state of Virginia. Glenn Youngkin versus, he's the Republican candidate, versus Terry the Monster McAuliffe, Democratic Party. They're bringing in the big guns this weekend to campaign for Terry McAuliffe, who used to be one of the henchmen for Bill Clinton, if you want to know who he was. What gets me is they're going into these churches, 300 black churches here, Kamala the Witch, to be doing this campaigning, which is illegal. But nobody will say nothing about that. But, you know, in Loudoun County School Board, they can cover up a boy raping a man's daughter and end up throwing the dad in jail because he comes to the school board meeting, while they cover it up and send the boy to another school and he sexually molests another one. Something's not right here. I hope people wake up. It's time for us to fight back. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen because they've changed the voting laws in Fairfax County for absentee ballots. You guys probably already know all this stuff. So now you don't have to put your Social Security number down. So what will happen is we'll win the election come Tuesday. And Wednesday and Thursday, well, the absentee ballots, the mail-in ballots don't have to be in until Friday. And we'll wake up Saturday morning after they see how many votes they need, and pow, we'll lose the election. So the Democratic Antichrist monster can stay in control. And that's just exactly what it is. It's evil. It is evil. I'm telling you, a storm is coming. Let me go over some things. Inflation. You guys have seen that. They said it was transitory. Yeah, come on. I went to the grocery store yesterday and just got one of them little blue carts that you carry around and put some stuff in. It was $60. Didn't hardly have nothing. Shelves empty. I mean, you guys know all of this stuff. These mandates, the mandates have hit our company now. The people are in an outrage. And, you know, I've seen Joe Biden at his town, you know, let's go Brandon, mocking the people wanting them to be fired. The police officers, the firefighters, the frontline people. You know, a few months ago, they were heroes. Well, that tells you what this monster is. It's all about power, guys. Wake up. Bunch of liberal weirdos. It's all about power. It's a bunch of this is what happens when you have pansy wimps trying to run this country. I could say a lot of other things, but I won't. Gas prices I seen this morning on Fox News. A town in California, $7.57 a gallon. $8.10 for premium. I'm telling you, $5 a gallon is coming here. They want it that way. They want it that way. I seen this morning an atmospheric river. I'd never heard of that stuff. It's supposed to hit the coast of California. Maybe it's already hitting out there. And some say there could be 20 to 40 foot waves. Now, we got a whole coastline full of ships out there with goods that we can't get into the ports. We can't get offloaded. We don't have truckers to haul them around. We know everything's going by. And then this thing is hitting out there also. Blackouts around the world. And all of this is because of policy. You know, England is sitting on one of the biggest reserves of natural gas in the world. But they want wind power. They want renewable energy. So, they set up all these windmills and stuff. And September, they didn't have much wind, so they don't have any power. So they're facing blackouts in England. Europe is in the same way, and now they are getting all of their natural gas because, this great Paris Accord that President Trump took us out of, and now these idiots have put us back in. So they're trying to get all of their natural gas to keep electricity on in Europe from Russia. And because the supply is down and the demand is great, natural gas has went up over 800%, which has increased their electric bills because of the energy over 400%. Americans, are you ready for a 400% increase in your electric bill here in January and February, right when the storms hit here in the mountains all over the United States? Hey, prepare. Hey, you voted for this. And I like to tell some people, you voted 3 or 4 times for this. These are the people. They wanted it. Now here it is, buddy. You made your cake. Now eat it. India, they have 100 some coal plants where they get all their energy from. They can't get coal. They used to keep about a month's supply on hand. Now they're down to 8-day supply. They can't get coal. China doesn't have enough coal for their coal-fired power plants, which, because they don't have enough coal, they are now rationing electricity. So they're rotating the usage in the factories where we get all of our stuff. 90% of all of our antibiotics, and the Tylenols and all of that stuff comes from China. They're closing their plants down because they don't have coal to make the electricity to run the plants. Now we're sitting here when we get all of our stuff at China because they sent it all overseas. You remember Ross Perot, the giant sucking sound? Well, here it is. Ross Perot, you were exactly right. This is what we've got. So now they're trying to bring in all this coal. Well, you know what? Most of my family, coal miners, we're sitting here in Southwest Virginia, Southern West Virginia. We're sitting on mountains of coal, but we can't get it. We're not allowed to dig it because, our Let's Go Brandon president, he's going to put the fossil fuel people out of business. So nobody's going to invest in any of these things. I told you there's a storm coming. I heard this morning or yesterday while I was going home that there is, and I'd heard this way before, maybe you guys have heard it, that there's a 6 to 9 month back order on tires. So what they have, you go buy them now, you may get them, but if you wait a month or two to go if you need new tires for your truck or car, tractor or whatever, 6 to 9 months. Now what's that going to do? I heard that farmers, for their tractors, now listen to this, to buy new tractors and new farm equipment, or if you need parts for your existing tractors, that if you ordered them today, you would be lucky to get it by spring of 2023. Now, what do we need tractors for? I think we need tractors, for harvest and planting and food and crops, the very things that we eat. So if we can't get tires, we can't have trucks to haul it, we can't get out and plow the fields, we can't grow the crops. You see where all this is going. I'm telling you, this is like setting up for a perfect storm. But I'm telling you, if you pay attention, you can do well. Let me give you a Bible verse here. This is in 1 Corinthians. We read this on Wednesday, but I want to go over 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Or this is out of the New American Standard, or do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither fornicators, idolaters, adulterers, nor effeminate, nor homosexuals, nor thieves, nor the covetous, nor the drunkard, nor the revilers, nor the swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. That sounds like the Democratic Party to me. But there's a word there, the effeminate. I said, what does that word mean? And it means exactly what you think it means. It means the soft. That's what we have running this country. That's who we have in the public office, running the school boards, mayors, running all over the place. We have a bunch of dadgone softies. Is there no real men in the world anymore? Real men that'll stand up and be the man in their families? I mean, come on. I was listening coming up here to do this video. I put it over on Christian radio. I was listening to the songs, and I said, all the songs are just pity-patty, crying, making excuses, all of this stuff. And everybody, they go to church and they whine and complain, and they go up front and they fall on the floor and whine. My life is so hard. Hey, a storm is coming. You better man up. That's all I say. You better man up. Now, what I want to take you to now is I want you to watch this video. I'm going to cut and give you this thing of what happened in Venezuela, the fourth richest country in the world. This is what happened when they took the guns. 2A, brother, 2A. When they took the guns, when the socialist communist government took over, this is what it led to. And this is where our country is going if we don't man up. Today is the day. It's time to man up, take your families back, take your homes back, take your schools back. Let's take our stinking government back. And if they try to cheat, we're marching. That's what we're doing. Enough is enough. Watch this video, and I want you to see exactly what took place. They don't want to show this stuff, okay? You get a little 10-second clip or something like this. I want you to look at a guy, his YouTube is Indigo Traveler. He went down there himself, just a regular guy, no news channels, none of that stuff. And he went to the locals to see what's going on in the city of Caracas. Watch this video, and let me tell you something. Man up and think about that.
Turmoil in the streets of Venezuela.
International condemnation of the government.
Tens of thousands of protesters.
Shortages of everything, from money to food. People rummage through rubbish.
My children went 3 days without eating anything.
Nicolas Maduro, get out.
Keeping that dictatorship afloat.
Giving American diplomats 72 hours to leave the country.
President Trump.
They fired rubber bullets and tear gas.
The numbers are staggering.
The protest against the government's been going on for months.
3 million Venezuelans have left their country. Rampant inflation.
Political turmoil in Venezuela.
They've been building the barricades across Venezuela for days.
This video series is my account of spending 2 weeks as a tourist in Venezuela. What you are about to see is what I personally witnessed whilst in the country. Nothing more, nothing less.
Venezuela.
Take the keys, please take the car. But the guys didn't want the car. They just tell us, please get in the car. We should do both.
So I landed into Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela, into the international airport there. Made it through immigration after a bit of questioning and them checking my documents and wondering what I was doing there. And then met a man called Lenny, who I'll introduce you to soon. He's going to be looking after me on my trip here. Drove past some favelas and some rundown looking houses and through a lot of tunnels. And then finally arrived into the kind of upmarket area of Caracas where my hotel is. So I've come down, just had a coffee with my friend Lenny here. This is Lenny. Hi. He's going to be looking after me in Venezuela. We are just going for a walk. And where are we going, Lenny?
This is the Chacao Municipio, and we are walking through the Francisco de Miranda Avenue, going to visit some of these places here, interesting places.
And this is more kind of the safe region?
This is the, let's say, this is the a safe region, a safe place. You can walk here, nothing is going to happen if you are aware, of course. But yes, let's say Chacao is a safe place.
Okay, but there's always a possible risk of something. You never know what's going to happen.
Always there's a risk. We have to be aware. You can film, for example, but then after filming, you should be
put the
camera in your bag or something like that. Be aware always of somebody is following you or watching you too much. Well, be aware of that.
Okay.
That's the basic rules here.
Right. Cool. So we're gonna go for an explore, see what we can find. So we just come to a petrol station,
and Lenny was explaining something interesting about kind of a fuel crisis. So I'm going to let him explain it to you guys.
Well, even as Venezuelan being a big oil producer, we are suffering right now of a fuel crisis. There are grid lines, long lines to get the fuel. You can see there is a big line there. Here in Caracas, the crisis is not too much like in outside Caracas. It's more hard to find the fuel, but
it's limited, right?
Yes, it's limited, very limited. How to get the fuel here. We are continue walking here through this district. Let's say this is a financial district. You can see, well, there's a restaurant here, like this McDonald's or this Arepera. There in front of us, there is a Perro Caliente hot dog sellers. If you cannot afford a McDonald's menu or this Arepera, you can afford, for sure, a hot dog there.
Okay. And can you just quickly explain what you were telling me about how you don't use cash here, you only use card?
Yeah. Here in Venezuela, it's very hard to find the way to pay with bills. We don't have bills. There is a lack of bill. Everything is too expensive to carry all that amount of money. For example, a hot dog can cost 9,000 bolivares. Our highest bill is the 500 bill. So you will need a lot of this to buy one Perro Caliente, to buy one hot dog. One hot dog is 9,000 bolivares, and this is our highest bill. So you need a lot of this to buy. The cashier machine only gives you 3,000 bolivares.
It's 6,300 for $1 US, is that right?
Now, if you have $1, you can get 6,000 bolivares for $1. So, for example, a hot dog costs 9,000 bolivares, but you don't have that kind of money, that amount of money always. So you need your debit card.
What's the average salary per month?
Our average salary here is 40,000 bolivares. There are people who earn more, like 25,000 a week, almost 100,000 bolivares a month. But that's nothing.
So 40,000, to put that in perspective, you said that's like $6 or $7, right?
$6 a month, not an hour. $6 a month. So you can imagine how hard it is to live here.
And so how do people buy hot dogs for $1 or $2 when they're earning?
That's the question. You have to find a way. You have to find a way. Almost everybody here has one entrance of dollars from outside. A lot of people has left the country, so we are talking about 3 million people who has left the country. So everybody here has one familiar who has left the country and send money here. At least if one person send you from outside $100 or $200 monthly, you can afford living here. You see the prices here? This is a hot dog, 10,000 bolivares. I was talking about 9,000, but it's 10,000 now. So it's like almost $2. A meat hamburger is like 30,000 bolivares. It means if you work the whole month, you can buy one hamburger and a can of soda. So that's the bizarre economy here. Nobody can afford 1 month living with this salary. Well, this is the municipal mercado here in Chacao. Well, you can find some products, fresh products here.
Central market.
Yeah, it's like a central market from the municipio of Chacao.
A la hora, mi vida.
You see, there is a lot of products, very fresh.
And this is imported?
No, this is from here.
Local.
It's from local, yeah. This is casabe. You can find now everything here.
So it's important to remember that this is a really kind of wealthy area of Caracas, and this is for people who are a bit more wealthy than the average. So we will visit at other regions, but it's good to get a full perspective. There were some people selling flowers out there and people buying them, which is nice because it shows that, you know, people continue to live their life. We say favela. Lenny's calling it favela. Favela is a Portuguese word, but it's easy to use because it's kind of internationally known Portuguese word for a slum. So you can see over here, I'll show you, I'll zoom in a second and I'll show you, that's where we're going tomorrow. It's the second biggest slum or favela in Latin America. I think the biggest one's in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. But yeah, we're going there tomorrow, so we're going to get a closer look now. So we just had a nice little lunch there in that authentic little restaurant there, and now we are heading to another part of town. We're leaving the more upmarket place, so I'm going to put the camera away, and then we're going to ride the metro back, but firstly we're going to walk through the streets just up ahead. We're leaving like this financial district with the big buildings and stuff, so yeah, got to put the bag on the front apparently to walk through this next section.
Bread. It's like sweet bread.
And so food here would be a lot cheaper than it was where we just were, right?
Yes.
So what's happening here?
Well, there is something cheap and people want to buy whatever they are selling there cheap. Oh, did you see this bunch of people trying to buy?
So it's something that's normally quite hard to find or something?
Yeah.
Clothing?
Yeah. Let's see what it is.
All right.
¿Qué están vendiendo? Zapato barato. ¿A cómo? A 30,000. You see? They are selling shoes at 30,000 bolivares, very cheap to choose.
It's common for banks to have big lines outside?
Yeah, when you see a big line in a bank, it's because they are or cashing their pension, or trying to get some cash, money cash.
Right. But why does
Banco de Venezuela belongs to the government?
Majority of people still use cards, so why do these people want cash?
Because there are places where there are no possibility to pay with debit card. There are people who live outside Caracas and need to pay 1,000, 2,000 bolivares each day, coming and going and coming. So it's 4,000 bolivares a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you work here and you live outside, you need 20,000 bolivares, more 30,000 bolivares a week for going and coming.
Okay,
home.
transport.
Yeah.
Aceptamos tarjeta de débito, tenemos punto de venta. Venga y lleve su barrón, su azúcar, su huevo, su pasta, su fideo, la galleta amarilla, la galleta.
So it used to be very dangerous here?
Yeah.
And what kind of things would happen?
Well, this is these bars here, this Tasca, show this. Well, at night, you know what kind of place could be. It becomes totally crazy in the night. It's been a long time since I don't pass through this alley, but it's it was very dangerous before. I don't know how is it now.
Okay.
It looks nice. Oh my God, it looks nice.
I saw you were taking photos, right?
Yeah.
And you have an Instagram?
Yeah.
And what's the name?
Lenny Ruiz C.
I'll put it on the screen, and you just do like street photography of Caracas?
Street photography in Caracas,
Right.
and other countries. I have from Cuba, Argentina, Santiago.
I'll leave Lenny's Instagram below, and you can check it out. It's
Check it out
definitely
my
worth a look.
account.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate your comments. Would recommend that hotel there, but now I wouldn't recommend not anybody staying here at there. Very dangerous. Then we're going down. The machine stairs are not working, so let's go into the subway.
Okay.
Well, that machine is working. That stairs is working. Very rare. I would like you to go in front of me. Yeah, guy.
And so this is free.
This is free.
And so can you just roughly explain why it's free?
It's free because there are no personnel who can attend the people who are coming here. You can see the information room. There was a time when you had to make a line and there and buy for the ticket. There was a time, you can see there are machines that are not working anymore. So people have to enter in some way, they enter free.
So basically there's not enough money to pay the
They
staff.
have no money for maintenance, they have no money for paying people. There is a lack of personnel here.
Right.
Take a look at the disaster here. You see? This is people waiting for the subway. I don't know how many minutes have they been waiting, maybe 10 minutes. We can spend here like 20 minutes waiting for a train, okay? Wash here. Oh, see how crowded it is inside. And now wash.
At least people are making the most of it though, right?
Sorry?
At least people are making the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright guys, back in the room. Said goodbye to Lenny. As you can see, we rode the metro back. It was super hot and sweaty in there. The air conditioning wasn't working today apparently. You know, some days it does, some days it doesn't, but yeah, wow, what an experience in there. Interesting walking from this area where we are now. And like we mentioned before, and you could see walking around, it's kind of the upmarket middle class area. But then we went to more of the downtown area, which is where a lot more of the, for lack of a better word, desperation is, I would say. Lenny was taking some photos on the metro and a lady came up and said, "Are you sure you want to have your cameras out and stuff?" And so it's very real. Lenny is very aware and knowledgeable about Caracas and Venezuela, and he's always got one of his eyes looking around just to make sure everything's okay. I hope that gives you a good taste of first impressions of Caracas in Venezuela, the capital. My opinion is I felt a lot safer than I thought I would before I got here. Obviously it is a reasonably dangerous place, and the difference between this middle class area and that downtown region is so big, you know. And then when we came back, we saw like a really disturbing scene. We saw a guy looking through rubbish, like picking bits of old meat out of a rubbish bag, eating it. He was super skinny. Tomorrow we're going to the second biggest slum favela, Barrios, I think in Spanish is the word, in Latin America. We're getting motorbikes there in the morning, so we're going to be 3 of us riding on the back of motorbikes, and we're going to be with a politician of the area, so everybody knows this guy, and when you're with him then you are all good. So yeah guys, that's going to be a fascinating experience, I'm sure. Going to meet some locals and we'll ask them some questions. Amazing to be here. The people are extremely friendly, even in the situation that they're in this dire situation they're in. The people are so welcoming and friendly and smiley. If you don't know about the situation in Venezuela, guys, I'm not gonna really go into too much detail apart from what I pick up from Lenny and the other people I meet, and you'll see like little glimpses into the situation. But I would recommend you go and watch some, if you don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do know what's happening here very well, but if you don't, then I would recommend that you go and do some research on Venezuela and the situation. It's a very interesting and sad story. To give these videos a bit more context, instead of me sitting here trying to dissect the political situation, I would recommend you go and do your own research, and then for this video series you'll have a much better idea about what's going on. In case I don't see you guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this. Good night from Venezuela here. Peace out. Buenos dias, guys. Coming to you again from Caracas in Venezuela, the capital city. Today I'm wearing pants because I'm about to go downstairs, meet a man called Davis. Gonna jump on the back of his motorbike and we are going to head up into the hills. We're going to the second biggest favela, barrios, or in English, slum in Latin America. So it's going to be a very interesting experience. We have about four motorbikes going with I think like 2 people on them each. Going to be meeting up with Lenny again, the guy you met in yesterday's video. We're in touch with a politician there, so it should be all kosher and pretty safe. Let's head down and out into this big beautiful city here, out in that direction. So let's go jump on the bike. So we just took a motorbike ride, as you could see, through some pretty tight little spots in between buses and things, but we've made it to the bottom of this area, which is called Petare. There's a big, beautiful pink colonial church here, and up in the distance here, not sure if you can make it out, but that's where we're headed up to the main kind of barrios area there. This is the start of Petare, the slum. This is the more nice area, and then we're going to head up a bit further, but it's a nice little atmosphere, community atmosphere. So we've just come a bit further into Petare. We've stopped at an empanada place. We're going to grab a little bit of food before we head deeper, but yeah, it's quite nice vibes around here. So we just pulled over because one of the motorbikes got a flat tire, so they're just getting it fixed across the road here, but there's absolutely stunning views of the mountains here. And now we're going up into the hills up here. Should get some really nice views as well as seeing more of the streets. So getting the tire fixed actually took quite a long time, and we looked over and saw the petrol station on the other side of the road, and we thought we'd go and investigate as there is a petrol crisis going on, and we found a man to interview.
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene que esperar después que se va la gasolina?
Mira, más que todo, bueno, 5 horas, 3 horas, depende, pero si está llegando gasolina.
Okay, he's telling me that since 3 hours ago there is no gas here, so but sometimes they have to wait 5 or 6 hours to wait for another truck with the gas, and the fuel is very cheap here. There is no price at all. If you want to pay whatever you need, you have there, you can pay 50, 10, 100 bolívares. It's nothing. It's like a gift for her, for him.
Me dice, mira, no tengo para pagar y okay.
If somebody doesn't have how to pay the gas, the fuel, well, it's free for you.
So what's the point?
The point is, this is not working. You can pay with food, or you can pay with cigarettes or something you want to pay. It's free.
So what's the point of working here and when you can't make any money?
Yeah, of course they can.
But I mean, like the petrol station.
Well, This is the bizarre economy, bizarre situation here. Gasoline is priority in our country, in every country is priority, but the government just give it because it would be a huge problem for them if there is no gasoline at all.
So they're losing a lot of money because they have to pay
Yes,
people.
we lose a lot of money. All the pumps are working, but it works, but there are no
fuel.
gasoline right now. You can show this. Neither of these is working.
And you think that this will get solved anytime soon?
I hope when we change, we will solve this. Only when we change this government, this regime, have to go apart and let other people solve this situation here.
Right. Okay.
Well, thank you. Gracias, papá. ¿Cómo es tu nombre, me dijiste?
Gracias.
Gilson.
It's okay to film?
Yeah, I feel it. They are traveling through Valencia. It's like 4 hours for here, 2 hours from here, and they are taking his own gasoline there because there are no gas at all in the pump services of the highways. So you must take your own gasoline for traveling. If there is no gasoline at all here in Caracas, everything explodes and will be protests.
Yeah.
Everybody will see that, and they don't want us to protest.
Right,
they don't want us to protest.
In the countryside, there's no petrol.
There is no There is no gasoline outside.
Okay.
It's a problem to find it.
And is this legal to drive around with
Well,
petrol
now
on the
in
roof?
Venezuela, it is a complete anarchy, so you can do whatever you want. Ciao, gracias. Suerte, buen viaje.
Gracias. Ciao. I don't know how much of that you caught, but the petrol's pretty much free. And any money that people decide to pay or things they decide to give, like you can even give cigarettes or cookies to the pump guys, the guys that put petrol in your car, and they get to keep that. That doesn't go to this government-owned petrol station. So basically the government's just keeping this afloat, supplying the fuel, so people don't lose their minds and start uprising again. But there's no petrol here. People keep driving in trying to find petrol, but all the workers here just sitting there. They don't get paid if there's no petrol because the money that is given to the people for the petrol goes to the individuals. So strangest situation I've ever seen in my life. Very sad story indeed. Anyway, we're still waiting for the tire to get fixed, and then we're going to head up into the slum a bit further. After that motorbike ride, we've come all the way up. What I'm about to show you is Petare, which is disputed to be possibly the largest slum in the whole of Latin America, or the largest favela or barrios, whatever you choose to call it. The reason that some people say this is bigger than the one in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, is because it's all connected to each other. So the one in Rio apparently has the largest number of people, but it's separated. This one is continuous. What I'm about to show you is just a third of it. There's 3 more mountains exactly like this. So it's said that about 1 million people live here. And soon we're gonna go deeper into the slum. We're gonna go check out a school and a soup kitchen for the children. Gonna see how the whole project works. But for now, take a look at these shots and just witness the magic of what we are looking at right now.
¿Y qué pasó? ¿Se escaparon del colegio?
Are they at school at the moment, or?
I thought that the school must be very near from here, but let's ask.
Okay.
Where, ¿dónde?
Mariscal, 12 de febrero.
¿De aquí cerca?
Sí, aquí arriba.
Ah, yeah, they are from a school near from here, from up there, and they are coming here to make their for gathering and share food and.
Nice day out.
It is a nice place.
Gracias. Ciao.
She wants to meet you because
okay.
es un YouTuber. ¿Para qué quieres conocer en YouTube?
Ay, Dios mío.
What's he say?
Hi, oh my God. Really happy. They will give you a hug.
Okay.
Eso.
Ya, okay. Bueno, chao, chao, niños. I think
Bye. So we just drove for another 20 minutes or so, and now we're arriving at the soup kitchen. So we're just walking through the favelas now, little kids.
Buena, buena.
Me dicen chino y Osuna.
¿Y tú?
Hola.
Hola, Belín, ¿cómo estás?
Buen día.
This is Nick. Él es Nick.
Buen día.
Nick.
Nick. So this is Andras, and can you just tell us about your projects here with the soup kitchens?
Yes, right now we have like a very disaster here in Venezuela. Where people are dying because of lack of food, of hunger. So we started this program to help each other, like in this crisis, to at least have one meal at the table. So we have here in Petare 30 soup kitchens, like this one, a house of a person that they open their houses. Right now the kids are arriving here, so they can have a meal.
Right.
For much of these kids, this is the only meal they can have during the day. Like they only eat once a day in these soup kitchens because of the economic situations we have right now in Venezuela. The minimum salary is 40,000 bolívares. That's less than $10 a month, like $6, and you can't buy anything with that money. So they can't afford like the food for their family and for their kids.
And do you have a website, if somebody's watching this video now, do you have a website where people can donate money?
Yes, we have a GoFundMe. I can give you the GoFundMe.
I'll leave the link below.
Okay, the link.
If anybody wants to
donate,
donate,
that's really nice. We almost all the money we receive is by a website, by a GoFundMe.
Okay.
We started that way. It's incredible because in the worst crisis we also have like the best stories of solidarity and how everyone can help. They don't have money right now to help, but they have their heart and their work. It's beautiful and it's like more powerful than money. Yeah, mira, Nick, Maria, she's the owner of the house. Look, the problem of water.
And they drink this, or?
Yes, this is the water they use for everything.
There's no running water here?
No.
From taps, no? So where does this come from? Is this rainwater?
No, they receive it. It only arrives here Thursday, once a week. So they use this water to cook, to clean themselves,
and to drink.
And to drink.
Okay. And is it sanitary, or can they get sick?
No, it's sanitary.
Okay.
It has ¿cómo se dice? Chlororum. It is
chloride.
Yes, chloride.
Yeah.
It has chloride.
Okay.
Okay. So they are cooking a soup.
Just vegetable soup, or?
No, it has meat.
Okay.
You see, like the brown thing and beans.
Alright.
Sometimes it has beans.
And most of this comes from donations on your GoFundMe. Okay.
And, this is potato. They are like the potato. For us, one kid can eat for $10 a month.
Right.
So we give them meal every day for $10 a month.
So 30 meals for $10.
Yes, 30 meals for $10 exactly. But it is very cheap because we use like the kitchens of the people in the slum. People help us for free, and we only like use the money to find the food and to take it to the soup kitchens,
right?
Like this one. But I mean, like if you know like Maria, you can see she's like putting all her things, her kitchen, her plates, her table, for the
Every
soup
day.
kitchen every day.
Every
So
day.
it's incredible.
Every day, all day.
Yes, all day.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Beautiful.
Abajo y el baño de mi cuñada aquí arriba. Y la poseta, el fregadero lo tenemos allí, pero no hemos podido hacer nada porque no conseguimos cemento.
They want to build their bathroom in
Y
this
ya
place.
tenemos los puntos aquí adentro.
They want, so they have like here the things of the bathroom, but they haven't find money like to build their bathroom, so they don't have bathroom in their house.
Okay.
So they have to use the bathroom in her sister, I think, in a house near.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 0. Ay, mi mano. Ay, otro lado.
You can see the difference. For example, every kid they bring their own plate, container. This is like a margarine container, so they don't have plate maybe in their house, and this is the container they use.
¿Lo conocen a él, verdad?
Sí.
Y él se llama Nick, y es de un país que se llama Nueva Zelanda. ¿Alguien sabe dónde está Nueva Zelanda? No saben. They don't know where is New Zealand.
That's fine.
Vale, pues algo en la vida, los pequeños primero. Los pequeños primero.
¿Quién me ayuda aquí a servirle a los
No,
pequeños?
nadie tiene que ayudar, nosotros lo hacemos solos.
Sí, vale. Gracias. ¿Qué más? ¿Cómo están?
Santificado sea tu nombre.
So you can see we just went into that second soup kitchen there, and that one was a bit more established. You could see they were all praying there before their meals. And we've just come out the back door. It was like this really tight, like packed kitchen. It was nice, but you could tell it was, you know, it was a little bit run down around the edges. And then you come down around the back, down this like little back door at the back of that room, and we just come into this huge church, like a really well-maintained, beautiful church. In the back door of that kitchen, it's the most random thing that I've ever seen. Look. I'm going to leave the link below, like we were talking about earlier, for the soup kitchen. And you know, $10 can supply a kid 30 meals, so check out that link if you want to contribute a little bit. Otherwise, just, I don't know, share it, spread the word, anything you can do. So after Andras showed us around this soup kitchen, he took us outside and introduced us to his little friend, who's an extremely talented singer.
Mi comienzo, mi relajo, mi fin. Ella es lo que siempre yo estaba esperando, pa' que llegara a cambiarme la vida. Y si yo la veo que se devuelve, vuelve. El amor es dulce, ay mi Dios del cielo, no dejes que dude este sentimiento que yo llevo dentro. Ella es lo que siempre yo he estado esperando, pa' que llegara a cambiarme la vida. Ay, 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 ay.
Eso. Ahora canta una a todo pulmón, pues.
So we've come over to a school, like a private funded school. All the kids have UNICEF bags, which is always a good sign. If there's one charity on my travels that I see in places of need, it's UNICEF. And UNICEF hasn't paid me anything or anything to say that. I see UNICEF in all the places of need. They really seem to be doing a good thing. So just come up onto the roof of the school. We went past a couple of really nice looking classrooms, and again, that money actually came from UNICEF, so UNICEF helped them tidy up the school. The school has 700 students, 350 in the morning and 350 in the afternoon.
And just like that, I am back at the hotel. Yeah, I don't really need to explain what we saw today. I think you can, you saw it. I'm gonna plug that link again, that GoFundMe, if you wanna drop some money down there, whatever you can afford, $1, 50 cents, $2, $10. $10, remember, buys 30 meals for a child. So Andras, the man that you met that was explaining the project and the soup kitchens, he said that if we didn't have anything to do with the soup kitchens, because he's one of the directors of the project there, he said that if we weren't connected to that, which is a very positive thing, then there's no question, he said, that we would have been robbed, because it's such a positive influence in the community. People respect that, so they don't want to disrespect the people that are creating that positive change by feeding kids in need. So to go through there without Andras and Lenny and the people that are known in the community for their kind of kindness and their generosity and their management of these systems, then you are just a sitting duck just waiting to be robbed. I mean, that's the biggest slum in Latin America, debatably. So a big thank you to Andras, who's taking care of that project there. The petrol situation, that was extremely unique, like you saw. And when we were waiting for the tire to get fixed, we looked in the window of the petrol station. They were selling toilet paper, 2 rolls of toilet paper, which was $21,000, and that is over half of the average monthly salary. So if 2 rolls of toilet paper is half the monthly salary, then seriously, it's incomprehensible what's going on. And free petrol, no food. So where we've been kind of hanging out and visiting the areas there, more of the kind of opposition areas. But tomorrow we're going to the pro-government areas. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a whole new scene. The people here are so kind and so welcoming and so loving and warm. It's beautiful, especially like I said in yesterday's video, in the face of this diversity, they still have this warmth and there's a real sense of camaraderie here. It is very strong. There are criminals and things, which is, inevitable in a situation like this. But the majority of people do get on. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you so much for watching.
The Brown Window is
Okay.
the name of the song.
Hágame el favor, compadre leve, llega a esa ventana marroncita, toque 3 canciones bien bonitas, paz y no me importa si se ofende, que yo le canto con el arma, ay, para esa linda morenita.